some major life situation which happens, maybe makes people change. Like, see, most of the Hollywood stars, of course, use all the money they make for themselves, whereas you must have heard about Keanu Reeves. He gives away most of what he makes to charity, and he has had some major experiences in life. The love of his life passed away of blood cancer. They had a stillborn baby. Then his sister had I think some kind of cancer, so he donates most of his whatever he makes to do research for that. So I think if you love someone really a lot, more than yourself, and if something major happens, then that's a total U-turn to your point of view. It makes you become a better person and do things for the better, right? So again, so that's why we would say, like in NLP, there's one saying that don't blame the person, blame the behavior, because behaviors can change. Person will be the person, right? So we have to understand, and the model of the world has two core components, that is values and beliefs. So my model of the world when I was in India was very different than my model of the world here, when I'm an entrepreneur and a business person. So what values did I have that time? What values do I have right now? Or what was my belief system? Like, I would say, like, for the longest time, I used to think, okay, I can never survive on my own. That was my belief system, because I've never seen anyone survive on their own, a woman alone, right, in India. All my siblings are married and have kids and are with their significant others, and I had never lived alone in my whole life. Like, when I started living alone, I think when I took the restraining order and walked out, I would have paid someone to live with me. Like, I was that scared, right? But the thing is, over a period of time, your beliefs change. And now I won't be with someone unless they are my soulmate, because now I know I can take care of myself, and my self-esteem is high, and I'm confident, and I won't take crap anymore, right? That's amazing. So I can give you a funny example of this values and beliefs. So in India, if you met someone and you like them and want to make friends with them, you invite them over to dinner at your house, right? You cook for them. So I was working at one of my first jobs here, and I had this colleague, white guy, and I said, okay, come over for dinner. He said, okay. And so me and my ex that time, we made some dishes which we thought we'd like, and then he comes and he says, my ex is there, he says, okay, then why did you call me when your ex is here? I'm thinking, I called you for dinner, right? Dinner means dinner for me, nothing else, period, because I'm from that culture. So it took me like those experiences to understand, okay, here they think it's totally different. If you have called someone over for dinner at home, it doesn't mean really dinner, right? So like I would say, like different cultural norms which you gradually learn when you embed yourself in that particular environment and that particular culture, kind of thing. So a change in the model of the world, we can change everything for either good or for evil, right? So I can say, I remember I had a lot of neighbors in my last house, and after 9/11, most of them stopped talking to us because we didn't look the general population here, because we are from India, right? We were the only Indian in the whole community, in that housing community in the street, and they were all nice neighbors like they would bring flowers or fruits for us, and we would have like a neighborhood get-together every quarter. But after 9/11 happened, so because they don't know the difference between India and other places and everything, so everyone stopped talking to us. And so basically that changed their model of the world, that anyone who doesn't look like the natives here is someone to be feared. And so that's the reason they stopped talking to us, and they wouldn't like hang out or even wanted to do anything. And I had another neighbor whose, I think, cousin or someone was a firefighter who died in that 9/11 attacks while trying to save people. So of course she had a whole like another, I would say, like kind of bitterness towards anyone who was who she wasn't aware, who wasn't that familiar with, because she thought all of them were. And so any change, like the change in the model of their world, where they were all friendly and nice and accommodating because we were the newbies there, became, just because of one incident, may take a U-turn, where they thought, okay, instead of having a newbie, they wanted us to feel a part of the community, to, okay, we don't want to associate with them, right? We don't want to be part of that community. So that's like the example for changing it for the bad, but of course it can also change for the good when people start appreciating you more where before they didn't. So then becomes a model for the good as well. And like before here, when I think the African American people didn't have any rights, then people would always like not try to associate with them that much, other than maybe slaves. But now when the people have just changed in the law, now everyone has equal rights, so everyone gets treated equally. So that's a good change in the model of the world, that all human beings are equal, regardless of the color of the skin or anything else. So see, for an Amish model of the world, it is like everything is green, we are farming, we are living a simple life, there are very few buildings to take care of like a roof over our head. Whereas if you go to the next slide, which is a computer engineer's view of the world, can you go to the next slide? It's all zeros and ones, right? Because we are now dealing with AI, we will have augmented reality, artificial intelligence, and virtual reality, and all that, and so it's all zeros and ones. Then their version of the world does not include any greens or forests, whereas the other version of the world does not include any advancement in the technology. So model of the world is all dependent on our representational system, as I mentioned before, and they have been long-standing even from our childhood, the belief system we build. Like here some of the, like when someone goes to another country, like Monica went, or I came from totally different society, I had to unlearn so many things and relearn so many things. That okay, it's okay to go out with someone dancing at night, or if it's you should not invite someone you don't really know well at your house for dinner, or simple things like that. That all comes from experience, and that all comes from your own representational system, and of course your understanding of the nuances of every society, and of course the rules people set. Like David had said that he feels happy when he is with his partner. That's his rules for happiness, whereas for someone else the rule of happiness will be, okay, a flower is blooming or a bird is flying, I'm happy because I see the love in the nature. And then of course understanding the other person's thought process. We all have a different thought process, right? Because we are all from different countries. He's from Italy, you are from Poland, I'm from India, and you guys are from US, right? Yeah, and she's from India, so we all have different points of view, yet we come together to learn some new concepts and to support each other and to build a team. So one of the key components of the model of the world is the meta model, and I'm going to discuss it in very brief because I don't want to take too much time. And so one of the things which Jay is going to focus on later is building rapport with people in order to make them really listen to what you have to say. Otherwise, we are in a information age where everyone gets so much information every time. Unless you really build the rapport, they are not going to listen to you. Then respect for other person's right to have their own values, and the same as the respect for model of the world. Like we all are different, so the same thing we can look from different points of view and have different viewpoints which we have to respect. We can't say, oh no, your viewpoint is wrong and mine is right. And of course have clarity about the outcomes. Like when we set